Hey, what's up everyone? In this video we have a group lesson at Tomahawk MX. This was a very small group one night last week. Can't remember, but I'm pretty sure we had 4, maybe 5 riders. So in this type of group setting, it's super cool. You can have, a pro level rider, and you could have a slow C rider. And with it being such a small group, we can work one specific section, and I can really tailor to everyone's needs for that section. So one person may be working on a little bit of aggression and some more advanced techniques in a corner, and somebody else may be working on simply just trying to be in the right gear on the bike. So this video is interesting where you can kind of understand that dynamic a little bit, and no matter what skill level rider you are, watching this video, we have a pretty wide range of skill level riders in it. So you should be able to pull a little bit of information. We're at the Supercross track again at Tomahawk because this time of year it's sort of our only option. The outdoor track is just going to be freezing and thawing so much, and the dirt's so soft that it almost becomes unrideable. So my Supercross track, which is now an amateur Supercross track, is hard pack enough where even when it's frozen, it kind of just feels like a hard pack California track that's been baking in the sun. Just want to say thank you guys for the positivity on my Anaheim 1 vlog. Obviously it is super embarrassing for me to not make the night show. That's something I've been pro for 9 or 10 years, and that's never happened. Not a single time. In fact, I've made comments to give other people confidence in their first Supercross and saying that all you have to do is skim the whoops and double the rhythms fast and you can make the night show. But it's just, that's not simply the case anymore. It's gotten more and more competitive every year, and I can't get away with running my business 80% of the time and focusing 20% on racing. I have to try to find a better balance or simply choose one or the other. But I appreciate your guys' positivity, and either way, next weekend in St. Louis, I'm gonna give it my best and see what we can do. If you guys want to show your support, you can click the link below and get January edition hoodie. This is black camo. Also, we have forest camo. Both are pretty cool. I think I made 24 of each for this month, and we sold maybe 60-70% of them so far, but there are a lot of sizes left. So click link below and show your guys support. Appreciate it. That was awesome, by the way. Good job soaking it up. Make sure your feet are, a couple times your feet were pointed way out, and when that happens, when your toes start to go out like this, I can physically see the gap between your knees and the shrouds.
I can feel it on, when I land in there wide, the bike just wobbles way more.
Right.
But when I have it it's a lot smoother.
Yeah, and think about when your legs are not making contact with the shrouds, think about how much harder you have to hold on with your arms to try to control that bike. Very, very little holding on should be happening with the upper body. Control that bike, grip that bike with your legs. When you're landing obstacles and working, you're dropping your butt and dropping your chest. You're not doing this. When your knees come loose, you're doing this movement with your knees. You're doing a forward and back like slide. We're gonna work this section backwards now. So not too much to change. With this corner being a left-hander, the biggest thing in left-hand turns, a lot of people are guilty of dragging the rear brake really far into the turn. Make sure that when you drop down, see how there's that little jump coming out of the berm? That's gonna act as kind of a kicker coming in. When you get to that kicker, you shouldn't touch the rear brake past that point. It's gonna feel like you're getting off the rear brake a little early, but that's gonna be the only thing that allows you to begin to lean into that turn. Both feet on the pegs this time, not allowed to put your inside foot out. Again, just wanna get you guys comfortable leaning the motorcycle while keeping this inside elbow up and staying centered on the bike and not relying on that foot. You guys were doing an awesome job of that to the right as well. Now what we have to deal with, this is going to be a single onto table, and then you're just going to drive across the top. Seat bouncing is going to be the way to go. Just keep in mind, your case is pretty steep.
It's not the end of the world. I could demonstrate and show you what a case is going to look like on this, but just keep in mind that if you do just drive that into the face of that, it might hurt a little bit. I don't think it's going to be enough to send you over the bars, but you really want to try to get your front end over that plateau, on top of the plateau when you go for it the first time. For you, gear selection is going to be huge. Were you going down to second gear for the right-hand turn, or were you just leaving it in third the whole time?
I was like jumping this at fourth,
Yep.
and then in third in the turn.
Okay. Yeah, so whatever gear you were in third for the turn, it sounded like it'd be enough oomph to get you single onto this table. But just see what that feels like. You guys should know, I mean, at least for me, I know in the pit of my stomach when I approach an obstacle, like if I have enough speed to get over it or not. The good thing about this is you cannot overshoot this. Not in a million years are you jumping that single. In fact, an overshoot is only going to get you to the downside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's the cool thing is you can just hit this as fast as you can, and you have the peace of mind of knowing you have so much room for error on the top of that. So super good practice. Leaving both feet on the pegs is probably going to help you with that. Make sure, again, inside elbow stays up in the turn, outside elbow stays up as well, because if this elbow, the outside one, begins to drop, your chest is going to rotate and it's going to want to send you over the brink. I tried to do that, but like not that straight up.
I hope I got that.
Like that actually got me a little nervous. I was gonna wheelie the top but,
from here.
Huh?
You were so like, it was so.
Yeah, good thing I when I do that, I always kind of have my foot ready to go on the rear brake. Good thing I did, because this bike is way too fast. I had up first or second lap, see what that bike feels like, and then go for it.
Would you say second in the 250s too, or third?
Second, probably, yeah. I don't know, get a feel for it. When you seat bounce and jump, you don't want your RPMs to be flat. So you don't want it to be like, whoa. Because when you seat bounce, you want to ramp the RPMs up as you go up the face. Or else you're just going to push through and it's actually going to give you a bit of an end up. So being in too tall of a gear will cause that. So get a feel. Not bad first attempt, not bad. Put up! Inside elbow up! Not a bad attempt, not a bad attempt. On the 250, this is everything you got. On his 450, this bike is so fast. That bike can jump anything. On the 250s, you gotta really go for it. Commit to it. Not a bad attempt. Gotta commit, let's go for it. Off that rear brake. All right, so number 8 just dragged the rear brake really deep into the turn. I'm gonna get on this side of him just to see. Didn't touch it at all. Oh, we got over. Off that rear. Number 8 is completely ready to commit to these obstacles, and he's just a little bit too timid. So that was the first jump we worked on today that he actually committed, which is awesome. Because if he can start doing some of these jumps, he's definitely, he's Loretta caliber. Good job, dude. Look how much confidence he's got. One jump and he's got all the confidence in the world. Good. Nothing. Watch your speed. Yeah, buddy. Good job. He's talented. Nice. 325's also been super timid throughout the day, but it's fine. Oh, wait, downside it. All right, that was, you good?
Yeah.
That was best case scenario, your body downside it. Okay, so, what went wrong?
I think it's bog turn.
You lost your drive a little bit out of the turn. So I was filming talking to the camera and I had my eye on you. I knew right away when you came out of turn it wasn't going right, and I thought you were gonna back off and you continue to go for it. You need to make that decision quick. You're doing dude, and by the way, awesome job before that. Awesome. You're building confidence so quick. Hit the turn with speed, commit. If something doesn't go right, at that bottom of the takeoff, you have to make that split-second decision to hit the brakes. I could tell, like, you had a moment of hesitation where, like, this doesn't feel right, but you still went for it, and that's how you end up getting hurt. That's all. So just be able to, I don't want you to lose any confidence because you were doing absolutely awesome. You're doing better than any of those guys. You're hitting the turn faster. Your seat bounce looks professional. When you land, you're charging off the top. That was great. That was just a mistake, and you should have recognized it before you got to the jump phase. That's it. Look at that mark. You also got very lucky that your body landed down that. Like, it launched you, it flung you, and then you rolled right down the landing, right? Good job. Now fire it up, make sure your bars are straight, and then go do it right. Tough little dude. I wish I got that on camera because that was a really hard crash. What I don't want to do is, he's such a good rider and he's able to do this no problem, but he messed up out of the corner and he hesitated here, and then he still decided to go for it and it bit him. But I want to encourage him and keep his confidence up because he had just built confidence like 5 minutes before that. This is the best all of you have looked all day long. Like, and to jump that actually takes a good amount of commitment. You cased the crap out of it a couple times, but you handled the case.
I was trying to find the spot where traction could be.
Yeah, but you were handling the case as well. 325, same thing. He cased it a bunch of times, but he was casing it with, like, he was holding his composure well, and then he built confidence a little bit by little bit, and next thing you know, he was getting it. You're doing a really good job of, I mean, that bike is so fast. Like, even little man, the 85 was killing it.
What happened?
I just had said to the camera, I'm like, he's building confidence. This is what he needs, and then he does that.
What happened? Like, I just caught tail end of it.
He bogged coming out because, I mean, on his bike, it's a fine line between creating power and like bogging.
Yeah.
He came out and it kind of fell on its face a little bit, and he was making his way to the left, which, by the way, that takeoff on the left doesn't have as much pop. Have you guys noticed that? Yeah. You haven't gone left at all.
Nope,
You've hit the same line every single time.
I try to stick the same.
Right, and he faded left, so he was bogging and he faded left, but you could tell he hesitated for a second, and he's like, screw it, I'm gonna still go for it. Frame cased it hard. You can see the chunk.
Oh yeah, right there on top.
Frame
Right
cased
there.
it hard, tossed him this way, pitched him over. Luckily, when it flung his body, his body perfectly downsided the jump.
Oh really?
Yeah, so, and I knew right away he landed soft. His bike hit hard, but he landed soft.
Well, that's good.
So I ran over, I'm like, all right, fire it up, get going again. But his bars were too crooked.
His bars.
Hopefully, well, it was his wheel, maybe his bars. Hopefully he's good. because he's such a good rider, but he's so timid. I just want him to build some confidence. Hey, are you comfortable hopping back on the horse and doing it a couple times? Eye it up 1 lap or 2 laps, gain some confidence and commit. Dude, you were doing it, nothing against any of you guys, you were doing it better than anybody. So do a lap or 2, get some confidence back, and then end it on a good note, all right? The sun's going down anyway, but
I feel like
I don't want to pressure him by filming him. And the thing is with that bike too, he's got to fully commit or not do it.
is that 3 minutes and 21 seconds?
That means you have 3 minutes 21 seconds left before your SD card is full.
Yeah, I gotta get another one.
Alright, here we go. He's gonna jump it this time. There we go. A little hesitant, but he did it. Nice, beautiful. All right, we'll stop on that note because that was perfect. Were you nervous at first?
Yeah.
I could tell. But you have to end the day like that because you, and I know I sound like a broken, I was saying this all last video and I was doing it with you, like I know you're 100% capable of doing that. You do not want to end the day on a crash and then kill your confidence. Build some momentum. I think what happened, honestly, after listening to your bike in that gear, I think when you tried it the other time, you were a gear too high.
Alright.
You think?
Maybe.
But that was great. The first time you did it, you scared me a little bit because I could tell you were hesitant, but you stood, which was smart. Because if you sit down, you can't half-ass a seat bounce. Like you gotta fully commit to a seat bounce. When you stand, you can kind of do that in between, but that was great.